Hello everyone and welcome to another HURTWORLD video. Why you should have a shack in your early game. Why is it so important? So imagine that you've been playing for the first time or something on a server for about 30 minutes and you have your inventory full of things already and you don't want to lose them because you probably are thinking already about building your first base, your first little base, and put everything there. So you need all those good materials and even to start crafting a bow or something like that. Everything on the early game that you're gonna need to keep going until you reach the mid game. And you don't really want to lose everything on a second, so you really need to put those things on a temporary place until you are really ready to set up your first ownership stake and your little base. And this is where the shack gets in, right, on this story. So a shack, it actually costs about 50 wood logs and 1 ember. I think it's easier to gather the wooden logs than finding 1 ember, but if you keep mining or chopping down wood, you will eventually find a few or at least 1, and you know you will gonna need 1 of that ember to build a construction ember. But if you have only 1 ember, spend it on a shack instead first. And why a shack and not one of these little things after building a hammer? I'm gonna give you the reasons why. First, because probably it's faster to gather the 50 logs for this. It's gonna take longer for you to do this than the shack. Maybe not. It will depend of what first you will pick up from the ground. And the second thing, even with the golden axe, not many people may have golden axe, but even with this, it will take ages to destroy one. Never mind trying with the hatchet, okay? Yeah, some people may have the patience to keep doing this. Many raiders are after these small bases, and why? Because sometimes people keep hoarding stuff on their little bases before they start to do something else, or even one detonator cap, who knows, maybe hidden here, and they will eventually recover the C4 material, at least the detonator cap they spent to blow up this one. So I really don't advise you to do this, but a shack instead. Everyone, or mostly everyone, may probably avoid shacks. They just pass through one and ignore them, hopefully. And what's good on the shack as well, you won't need to gather enough things for an ownership stake to spawn on it. You will spawn on the shack. The thing is, you can only spawn within a 20-minute break, okay, from each spawn. And after doing this shack, you may want to put something like this here. If you don't have enough for making a storage chest, probably you won't. On the time, you may be able to build 1 or 2 workbenches. They are really cheap, and what I advise you to do is to place here the most important things on your inventory, such materials to make concrete, limestones and stones, as well with a few more things to place walls and build an ownership stake. And put everything here, including ember, because you're gonna need to craft the construction hammer, as I mentioned before. And after this, you just place everything here, you close this quickly and go and keep gathering more things, and even try to look for the perfect place for you to settle up. And you have 2 days for doing this, because the shack will decay within 2 days, alright, after you place it. So if you don't have time just to to do a base like this and you have to log out quickly, a shack is a good option. And don't forget that if you log out, you're a sleeper, so your character will stay in the game and everyone can kill it, or the box, that is the sleeper box. So if you log out here, that should not be a big deal. After you have enough materials to start your own base, and then you go there with an ownership stake and you build something like that, no matter how far it is. and you have a storage chest or something here, and you want to start to transfer the items from the shack here because you feel safer now inside this area. So what you have to do is to get back to the shack, of course, and don't even try to put everything back to your inventory. Don't bring all the materials, the old things you have here with you every time you go back to your base, because you may lose it on your way. So imagine that you have all the loot here on your backpack and then you want to transfer it to your base, but you got killed eventually by something in the way. It will make the shack worthless, okay? Pointless to build. So I advise you to just grab things, split the stacks you have, and do things partially. Bring things partially to your base. Bring like half of the loot you have there, or a part of it, a smaller part of it, to your base. It may be annoying, you know, to run back and forth, especially if you're building a base far away from your shack. But if you want to build a base close to the desert, just place the shack on the starter biome as closer to the desert as possible, or if in the snow, a little bit more up north side. It will make more sense. So this is why the shack may be so useful mostly times. On this case, part of the times I really risk it and go with my loot straight ahead to the place I want to build. But sometimes there's a reason for, you know, people with a lot of gear, heavily geared people with shotguns and everything else, kill starters, kill early game players, because they know that probably they must have a lot of things on their backpacks or simply on their inventory, and they will kill you for that, nothing else. Thanks a lot for watching, and hope this was useful somehow, at least for people who are starting this game. Goodbye.